hello.
Oh, there's no music?
There's no music. Not for us. We don't get to hear it.
Oh, what was it?
It was just copyright free because we got a copyright strike on YouTube last week. Yeah, they got us.
The man.
They didn't like
the man's bringing us down.
Yeah, they didn't like us playing Elvis. They said no Elvis. Yeah.
I'm sure Elvis. We could say Elvis gave us the rights. How can they prove he didn't?
They don't know.
Might still be alive.
They don't know. Nobody knows. But yeah, that's why you're stuck with copyright-free music, so we don't get muted and then banned, because, when you get caught once, you got to start playing by the rules.
Yep.
But hello.
But hope you all had a good week. This is March 20-something. It's actually my mom's birthday today.
Oh.
I mean, interesting fact.
Nice.
But start off with an interesting fact.
Yeah.
So
happy birthday to your mom.
Yeah, I still got a text her. Well, that's
What
a
you
reminder.
mean? She's not going to watch this and see that we're wishing her a happy birthday on the internet?
I don't think she knows I do this.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's fair.
I have not told her.
Yeah,
So,
that'll do it.
But yeah, so another week through with Rewind doing some great stuff.
Yeah.
We have checked in probably 100 plus tapes this week. Tracy's been hard at work with photographing it.
Yeah.
It's been great.
Busy week.
Yeah,
Another busy week.
We've had some fun counterfeits. And
Yeah. They're always entertaining to get.
my favorite this week, because some people believe don't say the tricks to the trade. I like saying some of them because they're funny.
Yeah.
My favorite one from this last week was someone tried to fake the vent holes and they poked the box with the needle, I believe. Both breath holes or vent holes, whatever you want to call them, had indents.
Yeah.
And they weren't even circles. They were like kind of these mini tears.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool.
And
I love finding those red flags. That's like, to me, it's like look, proof.
Those ones, and then also same again with watermarks. Like, people are being sketched with their watermarks, and
Don't be sketched with watermarks.
don't be sketched with watermarks.
Don't take it off of VHS and try to put it on a beta.
Exactly.
It's obvious.
Yeah, but it's pretty obvious.
Yeah. But
it's so fascinating that there are these counterfeits, and people are out there. Like, it's no hyperbole to say you need to watch out. Like, they're there.
It's weird to me because coming from other hobbies, it's not as, at least I feel, as it's the Wild West with VHS and beta. And I'm not saying that because of what we do, but just even before we opened, it was like there's people, it seems to be actively trying to counterfeit, trying to put different plastics from different tapes on other ones, and it's unfortunate because at the end of the day, real people get hurt.
It's totally misrepresentation of like the original media.
Yeah, it's so disrespectful to collecting and people. So don't be a duck.
Don't be a duck.
And it's, as far as I know, very highly illegal.
Yeah, I mean, it's fraud. Like,
it's fraud, and then you start going at the levels that they do it. Sometimes
it's legit a felony.
So, and then you mail it, and then there's question marks that it could be mail fraud at that point. And so
many rabbit holes. You
don't be a duck.
Don't be a duck.
Don't be a duck. So, one thing I actually brought out our copy. I might have shown this before. This is, they call it a convention copy. Now, sometimes fans make their own copies of stuff, and this is an example of not a real tape. Now, this was deliberately made to kind of, it wasn't made to get by anyone. They call it convention copy. And if you see the word convention, that's kind of reproduction and such. And right away, you'll see the quality of this is very dull, especially when it comes to the label.
Yeah.
Like, it feels off. Like, everything about it feels off. I mean, the tape's wrong. I mean, the actual tape is wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, just wanted to show.
Yeah. Someone did ask. People are asking, you guys are getting counterfeits. Someone was asking, when you guys say counterfeit, do you mean the whole thing is homemade bootleg, or it's just resealed?
Typically resealed. I mean, it's not that we haven't seen something that was reprinted. But typically, it's people trying to fake the plastic from one tape to another.
Yeah.
And we hate to see that because they're doing it on purpose to trick someone to believe it's sealed, and sealed's typically worth more than not sealed. So we could all pretend, but we know why they're doing it. to increase the value and profit from it.
Yeah, yeah, and we've seen boxes that have touch-up.
Color touch
on them.
Under the plastic that had watermarks on it.
Yeah.
So if you ever want to say, hey, maybe they're just guessing and stuff like that, there was, I mean, this was very early on.
Yeah.
Complete color touch.
Yeah.
Under the plastic that had watermarks on it.
Yeah.
And I know myself, before we really got into it, I was like, I wonder when we get to, is it like, hey, we will find the smoking guns, and that's like I mentioned the needle and go through the plastic and hitting the box.
Yeah.
Yes, it does happen.
Yeah.
And yes, and that's the thing, like, there's times we find counterfeits like that and we're able to find smoking gun, and sometimes we're like, hey, we're pretty sure this thing, we'll just say it's questionable.
Yeah.
Or if we're on the fence, because we'd rather be wrong and not let one get out there than be wrong the other way and let a counterfeit be out there.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we'll do everything possible, and a lot of times, especially if it's first time fence, we'll refund money and stuff like that. It's if it's someone that's a high volume thing and there's multiples, then that's different. We
get more
we don't work for free. I know we kind of do,
right?
But, yeah. So yeah, VHS has been a lot of fun. Any other questions?
Yeah. Someone says Rock and Roll has a ton of convention fan copies.
Yeah, and you know what? Fan copies are different. It's not trying to be conveyed differently. They're not putting plastic and watermarks and then putting out a high price and not mentioning convention, right? So,
well, that's it. It's not people like getting the rights to a movie and then reissuing that movie. So, that's totally different.
It's like a bootleg that's trying to be sold as the original.
I mean, you go on Etsy. There's plenty of bootlegs that people are selling there, but they're not trying to sell it as a genuine copy.
Yeah,
they're selling it as a repress or a reissue.
Yeah, and number one thing to watch out for is just trust your gut. I guess. I mean,
if it looks if you're getting a tape and it's too good to be true, it might be. Question the plastic always. Is it period appropriate? Check the watermarks. Are they there? And what do they look like? If it looks a bit weird, it's probably a bit weird.
Yeah, I mean, stuff happened in the factory, and we've seen tons of stuff where it's almost not legible, but it's legit.
Yeah.
But, I've gone down this rabbit hole with art. I mean, I've been scammed in tons of stuff. I had one time an artist, he recreated his original works to sell to me. So, so they were original, but they weren't the original.
Yeah.
So, and I've been there, you try to look away and try to be like, I kind of don't want to know. Subconsciously. It really is subconscious. Yeah. Like, I felt something was off, but I just waved it off, and then eventually it hit me in the face.
And nobody wants to really be that person that says, I got scammed, or I got duped, or, I was caught out with whatever.
Yeah.
But it happens.
Yeah, it happens. And you know what? It's always a very hard thing to get through, but, it's one of those things that the best thing is to try to see it when it happens, try to help other people avoid such, because that could ruin the hobby for any collector, myself included. I didn't even want to talk about collectibles for a week or two after that one, and but yeah, what's some questions going down right now?
Someone's asking, obviously some people counterfeit on purpose. What if someone unknowingly has a reseal in their collection and sends it in for grading? Will there be some sort of pre-grading queue that will stop it from being graded and set aside to be sent back to the owner? Well, we don't grade reseals.
Yeah, we can. I'm trying to, his thing is asking kind of, hey, if someone doesn't, we know that happens. Like a lot of people buy it not knowing, and then they send it in. Our thing is like repeat offenders, where it's 7 out of 10 the items are counterfeit over and over, and we, that has happened in the past where you kind of see, hey, there's a pattern, and
we give the benefit of the doubt.
100%. Like there's nothing wrong with someone sending one item and that happens, right? It's when it starts to become a pattern. Yeah.
When there's more tapes that are sus than not.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, we're not talking about like, oh, you know what, this might have been a store, because there's a difference between store resale and a counterfeit. Store resale from 1987, the plastic's that age, but it was sealed, you could tell it wasn't by the factory. Now, someone that does it recently, And we'll tell the person, hey, you might want to talk to the person you bought this from.
Yeah.
You know, when we're very confident, you know, because sometimes it is just questionable. I mean,
yeah.
The thing is, a lot of people like to think that this all happened in a factory, like, this is exactly, but, you know,
yeah.
there was things go haywire at a factory. A machine goes down, they use another machine, and there's a lot of craziness. So, you know, we got to give the item a benefit of a doubt and look at it from different lenses.
Yeah.
So.
And then somebody was asking, they have a copy of Risky Business that they'd like us to take a look at. Send it over on Instagram. Happy to take a look at pictures. And yeah.
Rewindgrading.com. And if you ever have any quick questions, you can always call in before you send something. We have people all the time call. And Callum or Tracy will pick up the phone. I typically do not because I hate telephones. But no, I'm kidding about that. But
I try not to either because nobody can understand what I'm saying. Yeah. No?
Well, we do try to pick up on first string. That's our goal. If we pick up on second, we apologize in advance. So, a segment for this week. So we're not
new segment.
Oh, new segment.
When you get like flashcards or something or a transition screen.
Well, yeah. Next time we'll do it with the computer, do all this cool stuff. So we were talking about the VHS mostly and that kind of stuff. I want to talk about music for a minute and talk about the different formats.
Yeah.
And
let's do it.
I don't know how we call this the educational thing. Before I knock something over, let me move that.
Education.
But I wanted to bring a few different formats of the same item.
Nice.
So I brought a few of my personal collection in to show Nirvana Nevermind. So what is that big box? Now I didn't bring the vinyl, ran out of time, but the cool thing, let me open this up.
For a hot minute, I thought it was in plastic, and I'm like, wait, what are you doing?
Look, it's factory sealed. Look, that's how they came.
Just with some painter's tape in a bag.
Now, this one's not the best condition, so I kind of left it how I received it. I don't package things this way, but I get kind of lazy. I don't take everything out beforehand, and this one was really cool, because these are the long boxes that were around in the 80s and pretty much went away in the 90s. Now, one cool fact about the CD long box. Now, we won't be grading these off the beginning, but one cool thing about them, why are they this size? They're exactly half the size of a vinyl. So when stores wanted to put them out, they could put two of them side by side to fit in that exact spot.
Wow.
It's kind of cool that way. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, and that's why it's that long box.
Yeah.
So this is Nirvana Nevermind, factory sealed. Now this has water damage a little bit. Why I was able to get it for a cheap price, but let me show you a few things with that.
Still amazing.
Yeah, you know, it's cool because it has the hype sticker. You're gonna see this on the God, the camera's like not in my it has that hype sticker that you see on the other items. This one has some retail price stickers about 4 times over. So here's the cassette, same hype sticker, just smaller.
Wow.
Right, and you're gonna see the year on the back. I think it was 91 when the album came out. Was it 91? Yeah, 91. So, one thing notice, it's the clear jewel case. Now, here's a reproduction of, not reproduction, but later release of Nevermind. Silver cassette.
Yeah, I noticed that.
2016 was it? Let's see.
Yeah.
2011, my bad. You're getting old. And then, jewel case. Now, this also has that hype sticker on it. It's cool to see all of them with the different hype stickers.
Yeah.
You know, it's this one, as we call it, jewel case. It's an early jewel case, you'll notice, with the type of can't remember the name of that plastic piece, but with that, this one does have a title strip. The title strips came out in '94. But yeah, has a hype sticker. Nice. Not the best condition one, but
I mean, it's still great. You did a nice little collection of the different ones.
Yeah, and next I'll bring in the vinyl. But
so in this, what other items could you find in a long box apart from
cassettes?
The cassette.
Cassettes. They did do long boxes and cassettes.
Okay.
And it's they did it for the size to be able to put it on the same racks they're using vinyl.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of neat. You'll notice some really good albums came out during this time.
Yeah.
Madonna, Metallica, a lot of 80s. I think around 82 or 83 they started.
Okay.
I own like 2 of these, so I don't own a whole lot. I mean, not of this album. I mean, total of long boxes.
Yeah.
They're not common because they squished really easily and they fell out of fashion really quickly.
Yeah.
So
why would you have all that packaging? You know.
I mean, eventually they just went down
or to CD, the jewel case
to this. You know. messing up the camera over and over. But yeah, and, you know, again, I love cassettes, so there's the cassette. Great album, iconic album. But yeah, what is it? Some people do collect these, I know. They're neat. A lot of times you'll see an overlap seam on the back. This one's horizontal. So H seam means horizontal. Some people would like to kind of do a little bit of education there, where
always
H seam means horizontal, V seam is for vertical.
Yeah.
There goes my phone. These will have vent holes. Every item, for the most part, besides CDs, the smaller CDs, will have vent holes for breathing.
Someone asked a great question on this topic. Will open CD grading be a thing at some point? For example, promo CDs. And would a CD case swap affect the grade if the original case has a crack and you replace it in open CDs only?
That's tricky. That's a great question.
Yeah.
So, we'll wait till the phone to get you know.
Whoever's phoning Dan, just wait.
Yeah, just give me about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. Here's a early CD that I don't think ever came sealed, which is Luke Combs' first single, Hurricane. People that don't know Luke Combs, great country singer, I enjoy him. Eventually, we want to do every platform we open, we'd like to do open, because it's not just about sealed items; it's about all items, and you know, doing it in every type of. Is it medium?
Yeah,
it's not a medium,
or every type of option. Because there's, as we discussed, like there's people out there that aren't as interested in the grading part of it and just want their item protected. Like they've had it, they've enjoyed it, they love it, and they just want to see it protected for longer.
Yeah, and that's where like it's eventually we want to do all. Now when it comes to the question, I did not skip over the thing about the case and switching it out is. It has to match it exactly, because certain studios have certain cases they only use, so you can't just switch them out. Now, I hate to say that you can switch them out, but if you had the exact same one from the exact same time, it would be very difficult to know, because there is some cases that were exact same. And that happens with PS1 for video games. People hate to admit this, but I mean that's just there is the exact same matches, and I'm not gonna say it's not possible, but you know what? If you could get a how do I say this? Gonna sound horrible, but I'm gonna say I don't recommend it, you know. But I get what you mean.
Yeah, we're gonna have to come up with.
Let's stop it there, so I stop sounding like an.
We'll come up with something.
Yeah,
we'll
let you know. Those are questions that are great now because we get to figure out what we want to do. Obviously, we want every piece to be authentic that came from that time period. Yeah. But if we could tell that it didn't, obviously we're gonna reject it. Yeah. Does that make sense?
I think that's a good answer.
That's the best way. I mean,
yeah, it's good for now. I mean, their open box is like a much future project within CDs and cassettes.
It is farther away. Same thing with open cassettes and open large CDs.
Yeah.
So you still got large CDs.
I like it.
Sgt. Pepper.
Because eventually, as you said, there's no reason why we wouldn't do it. Obviously, with it being open graded with the CDs, we just need to iron out some of the more specifics. We haven't got to the specifics yet of how it's all going to operate, but it will happen. It will come. We will do it, and we'll do it right. We'll do it the right way.
Do you know the early prints of this? There's a few different variants, like the No Nems, the No Mac, but early prints of the song "With a Little Help from My Friends" was titled "A Little Help with My Friends" on the back. So fun little fact. Fun little fact while we had the album out. I also want to mention that you have all these famous people that's influential to the Beatles on the cover, which was great. My favorite is Dylan, of course, but this did have a price sticker of $3.79. Wow. Callum did some great research and eventually released it on the different prices of records through the years. Yeah. And that helps when you're kind of searching and be like, hey, is this the first print? Now, that won't say for sure, but it'll give you an idea if you should, that's just a reissue. Yeah. Or it's, just,
that was an interesting little project.
Yeah, because they went from like $1 to, what they are now.
It's been like an inverse bell curve where they started expensive, they became cheaper, and now they're getting more expensive again. Yeah. Like they're... what vinyl of a record could be like $25 now?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, $25-$30 for
the revival is definitely
Ed Sheeran or T Swizzle. Like
T Swizzle.
It's not cheap anymore.
Yeah, well that's the thing is it's a big product that is coming back and it's cool to see. But yeah, any questions regarding the different formats of music before we move on?
Let me double check if I missed anything.
Because we got one other segment today.
I don't think I've missed anything.
Okay, cool. There's one more segment that I want to add today. There's, let's teach something, or whatever we want to call that. And the next segment is, let's show something cool.
Let's show something.
I've been a collector pretty much my whole life, so I always have stuff in my collection I think would be cool to show. And sometimes I've never shown anyone.
Yeah.
And here's a fun one. Let's move some of this stuff out of the way before I damage it.
Also, an update on where you can see us in other places around the internet. Next week there will be a podcast / YouTube video dropping from Comics and Crypto that we were on their channel. We had a great chat with those guys. They're fantastic. I've seen previews of the video. The video also looks great. They've done really well, and adding in ads of VHS and beta and stuff. It looks really cool. So once it drops, we'll obviously post everywhere on our socials where you can find it. But just to let you know.
Yeah.
And if you're out there and you want to talk to us, give us a message.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram if you ever want to reach out. Dan_collector. I think it's D.A.N. _collector. I just recently changed that to, before it was Dan64, but I wanted to be more open.
Nice.
So,
and if you want to contact me, contact us on Facebook, on Instagram. Just Rewind Grading.
So do you know what this is before I show you? I haven't told Calum what this is.
I don't know.
Don't look at the name on it.
I didn't see the name. Is it a sporting object?
It is a sporting object, but it is a case pack of video games.
Oh!
So, video games, NES games, came in boxes like this.
Yeah.
And this is a case of original. This is unlicensed, but would be nearly the same.
Here we go.
I was able to pick these up eventually, and this is how they came. Now, this has already been opened, but it's kind of cool to see a case pack. And this is RBI Baseball. So, there's a game I think that's still going around strong today.
Yeah.
So here I'll show this right here, and here's a case of them.
Damn.
So it's kind of cool to see what a retail store would get them. Would be like this, and
yeah,
rarely are these found in these kind of conditions. You could see these are as mint as they come.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was just something cool that was in my collection that I've been hiding away that I wanted to show. That I do have some cool stuff once in a while. For show and tell.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll call it show and tell.
Show and tell.
Show and tell.
Yeah.
So let me see if I could.
So we got an education segment. We've got show and tell.
So let's see the conditions.
We're gonna have some great graphics next week.
Yep. Oh, yeah. This is.
Look at that.
So this is the first time I've actually really taken it out to look at, but this is about as nice condition as you're gonna find. So, yeah, this is one of. They come in cases of 6. So.
Cases of 6.
Yeah. So even back then they weren't cheap, so it wasn't they just left these behind, but the plastic is what I'd call, mint. So
I mean that one especially out of the rest of them I can see, yeah, that is pretty mint.
Yeah.
I don't, it's
funny because you still once in a while get some minor defects. Because
yeah, you can see just in the box, but
there's probably get a 9.6 to 9.8, but. Cool little stuff. It's cool, and I haven't seen people sometimes ask, "Hey, have you seen cases of cassettes?" I have seen cases of CDs. I've, they came in different sizes, but I have seen cases of CDs. I have yet to see a case of vinyl. I'm not saying they didn't exist, but it's been many years, so I do have to talk to some of my sources that've been around that long and see if they have. Because with what we do, we have some friends of the company that own record stores and such, and I'll ask them questions from back in the day. And maybe one point we'll have them on or something.
It'd be interesting to know if the way that they ship vinyl has changed. Because obviously stores are still selling vinyl. Does Target receive vinyl the same way they did back in the 80s and 90s?
I'd imagine the distribution's probably different. Just because everything's so global now.
Yeah.
But maybe not. I mean, because there's so many less plants and stuff. But back then you had... a dozen or so major plants. You have
that's
LA.
What's kind of crazy about the whole vinyl industry is the machines that they were using to press vinyl back in the day, they don't exist anymore.
Yeah, there's very few.
They're the last diamond tipped recorder in the US was purchased by the Mormon Church. Fun fact, for like $200,000 or something. who knows why they want it, but they've got it.
They got it.
They got
Good
it.
investment.
Yeah. Or was it? It's either them or Scientology. One of those two. And it's
Same different. No.
It's the only one in the US. It's the only one in the US.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And I think there's only 3 in existence in the planet right now, and they say that that's how you get the best recording on a vinyl. It might actually be a sapphire tip. It's really, really interesting. If you like the more technical stuff. I'm into all the technical stuff.
What are we going to collect rubies here to make vinyl?
Why not?
You know.
Someone was saying there's a fine line between collecting and hoarding. True that.
Is there a fine line? It kind of blurs.
There's no line.
There's no line. It matters, you know.
There's a little overlap.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people probably around the world would consider me a hoarder, but that's okay. No, but I like finding. This is something I found pretty much in the wild.
Yeah.
And it's cool. You know, it's something that I remember finding. I haven't got them graded just because I think it's cool as this. And I probably keep this for a very long time to come.
Someone says Rewind's endgame to buy all the RBI baseballs.
I'm cornering that market.
Yeah.
So
if you want one, you know where to come.
Yeah.
Someone's saying their hometown in Kansas has one of the biggest repressing plants in the US. That's cool. Yeah. That's interesting.
I'd love to go tour that sometime.
Right. My brain went there straight away. I'm like, that'd be really cool to go see and see if they how long they've been around for and how much their productions have changed, or if their process
the changing
changed.
of production would be very interesting to see, because a lot of stuff is 180 grams these days. That's the weight of the vinyl. And to see how the manufacturing is done a bit different now. A lot of the plastic's the same, but you'd imagine a lot of stuff is done a lot quicker and
maybe more consistent as well.
Exactly. So
those were all the things I missed.
We're doing a giveaway with RBI baseball. You know.
Oh, somebody did ask you about mini disc.
Mini disc. Ooh. It's funny. I only have one memory of mini disc as a kid. Is I had a friend that owned one, and he had the album Suicide Machines, and I remember being on a driveway listening to him. Like, this is really cool. I remember seeing it. Best Buy had a small section. It was short lived. It was cool. I haven't seen them sealed. Like, I don't know enough about them. We don't know enough about them, so it's not on the agenda or the schedule. But I'm never say never.
I don't even know what a mini disc is. I'm thinking of a PSP game.
Kind of, yeah.
I think there's somewhere in my brain that has that crossover where mini disc existed, and then PlayStation were like, oh, we could use that in PSP.
Yeah, I mean, it is the same size as I can remember. But a little binder of them.
Okay.
And, those would be actually pretty hard to find, I would imagine, because it was a short window. I mean, I'm talking about, like, couldn't be more than a year or two, it felt like.
They also...
they never took off.
I'm getting more memories of back in the day when you got cereal and you got, like, PC games. Did you ever have that here?
No.
So you could buy cereal back in
I remember the AOL discs, that they give away free everywhere.
No, yeah, you buy, like, a special, like, cornflakes edition of... And it would have a video game in it. And it would be a little disc. Never have that here? Never get the toys and the CDs?
This is when I realized that, we're about 10 years difference in age, because thinking about, like, video games coming in my cereal never happened. Yeah. I remember, like, little plastic toys I would choke on. But...
Yeah. No, we got, like, little discs. Like, Action... You don't have Action Man here, you have G.I. Joe, it's, like, the equivalent. But they had an Action Man game, and it came in these little discs, and... No?
You don't realize how good
that's the 90s.
Yeah.
That's the late 90s, early 2000s. Probably late 90s.
Probably they would have came with us with an AOL disc that would have given you 56K modem, which kind of, if anyone called the house your internet disconnected.
You were goosed at that point.
Yeah. Trying to play Quake 3 on that was not easy. Or,
Or anything.
StarCraft. I'm trying to think of the computer games.
Trash to Cash says, my buddy's job is to listen to the first press and examine the record with a microscope for any impurities before they make big batch press. That's dope.
Yeah.
That's cool. That'd be interesting to talk more about.
Yeah, maybe sometime we'll talk about the MSFL records. Those are a very interesting story.
Yeah.
People do collect those for, recordings off of the masters.
So there was a mini CD and a mini disc in square cartridges, not to be confused with Sony's UMD disc, which is what they used in the PSP.
Gotcha.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the confirmation. Mini discs, mini CDs are regular 3-inch round discs.
Sometime we should have all the different sizes, like from that to have them go up to Laserdisc.
UMDs are the craziest format. Yeah, no other player ever existed. A PSP like why? Yeah.
I always wanted a PSP and I never got one back then. It looked so cool.
They were dope.
Yeah.
I had that PSP for like, I think I used it for almost 10 years.
My one handheld was the original Game Boy. That was the only handheld I ever owned before I got Snake on my cell phone. That was, that was honestly, and they're making that Tetris TV show. I don't know if, I mean, it's already made. It comes out Friday, I think, on Apple.
Interesting. It's kind of like with the new Super Mario movie as well. All these classic video games are now getting turned into.
Don't get me started about Chris Pratt.
Oh, yeah.
I have hopes that, I mean, I don't know. To me, it felt like they watched the Lego movie and like, that seems safe.
Right.
Like, that seems
That's not going to be controversial. Nobody's going to...
Well, it's just like, this guy did the best animation, I was like, yeah.
And he's still alive, so I know use him. Anyway, there was something else.
Real quick, I think it'd be funny if they did like, they do cuts on DVDs. They do it where they actually switch out the voices with the original guy. I think that I will pay to see that.
I would pay to see that.
I would pay. Oh yeah. I'd pay $20 specifically to see the movie with Chris Pratt's voice and the original.
Yeah, and see what's better. I already know which one's gonna be better.
Well, I mean, it would be really.
Why not? Somebody needs to do that. I had a thought, and now the thought.
You're thinking about the original Mario movie.
We're talking about
Lizagamo. I can't say his name right.
Oh, the Super Mario Bros. Yeah.
I saw that in theater.
Yeah.
So
we've had a few of those tapes come in. Right? And they're really good conditions as well. Most of the ones we've had. I can't remember what
you're thinking how they should bring back that movie. And
no, we're talking about
SMB2.
No, we're talking about handhelds. I had a PSP, and the best one was the Game Boy Advance SD. You know that one? It's like a little flippy one.
I know what it is. I just never owned it. It
was great. Loved that thing.
Played by that time War. I was
good.
It reminds me of there's a phone I always wanted. It was I think it was T-Mobile, the one that flipped up. Had the two. I don't know. I can't remember the name of it, but what's up?
The rumor
sounds like I won't say it. Danny is trying to be good again this week, so there's a lot of jokes I want to make.
You're doing well. You're doing good.
Okay.
Was there another question? I think I did see another question.
If any other questions, send them in now. This is getting to the conclusion of the day.
Yeah.
We did a few fun things, and no one won the giveaway of the RBI baseball yet. So, if you say the magic word in my head right now.
You remember that one time when we did when we were opening baseball cards?
That's why I put the Barry Bonds.
Oh, he's Barry Bonds there. Oh, he's there. Yeah, he's just sitting there.
Actually, I had the stuff on my desk. I put a few things on the desk.
Yeah, we need to get Barry Bonds framed.
Yeah, we gotta have him in here. Sure. No, but we'll have him rip some packs.
But yeah, I quite like handheld devices. I've now got the Switch, the Nintendo Switch.
Which is amazing.
It is an amazing console. Like
Nintendo, good job.
I find Nintendo, whatever they do, pretty solid.
Yeah.
Don't have an Xbox yet. Probably not gonna get one. PlayStation, maybe.
We have one. We have a PS5 in the office.
We do have a PS5 in the office.
We don't use it. We play Switch.
Yeah, always. We're always not always playing the Switch because we're working. We're hard at work.
But we do have scheduled breaks that we do. Mario Kart is a constant.
It is, and it's perfect for the time that we do.
Four races is 15 minutes.
15 minutes, yeah, and it's perfect for getting set.
And we're really frustrated. We spend the extra time to do 6 races.
Yeah, and sometimes we're getting better, so we're making the courses harder.
Mere 200. We were doing 200.
We did
for a while.
Yeah, we did 200 for a week, and we did not get a break because it was too stressful.
Yeah, no, it was.
It took away the fun of playing Mario Kart to just the frustration of always falling off in Rainbow Road.
Yeah.
Like having no other choice but to just yeet yourself off the course.
But yeah, no.
Someone saying, I remember begging my mum to see Super Mario Bros. At theater. She said no. Changed my life forever for the better.
Yeah. John, you're 100% right. She saved you. It saved your money. That was absolutely horrible. If anyone says differently, they're wrong.
But I think that's all we've got really for this week, and
very casual week. We'll We'll have more next week. We'll expand on more of a show and tell, some educational stuff. There's a lot of stuff on vinyl this week, but going to hold it back for the next few weeks. Schedule for some of the upcoming releases that Rewind's doing. We're getting there. I'm trying to think of.
We can't get some dates. I mean, there's no dates in
still
stone.
In the first half of the year.
Oh yeah. Oh,
you know.
Yeah, before summer is kind of.
I know. I don't want to go. I don't want to like give realistic.
Much. Yeah.
You know, but we're still on schedule. Stuff's moving ahead. We should have some good updates in the next 6 weeks or so. I mean, we'll be able to show you some cool stuff by then because. Our encapsulations and stuff we're hoping to be able to show you then. At that point, you could actually see what the wait has been all about because we see a lot of other cases out there. And you know what? I do want to give a shout out to AAGS. They're a company that was, I think, out there before a lot of the other ones. I actually respect the owner of the company because he's really... I like what he's doing. Sorry. You know, I'm not much for... negativity for no reason. I gotta give positivity where I think he's done done some great work.
Yeah, definitely. Someone was asking how long before cassettes go live. First half of this year.
Yeah. So we should have an update roughly about 5 to 6 weeks to be able to hopefully maybe show you the stuff.
Show you what it's all about.
Yeah, because we have some deadlines and stuff that are on schedule that we might be able to show you the first run of productions to show you some samples. So we'll be able to show you the actual physical product. A lot of this stuff, like we said before, takes a very long time. The first contract actually with Cassette CD was June last year to get them in production. That company did not work out. We went with another company, and they've been really great. So we're really hoping to show you guys a physical product in about 6 weeks. So... with cassettes and CDs, we saw. I've seen some other companies putting stuff out, and I'm glad for any other company to put stuff out there. The only company right now that I really, again, AAGS, I think they are doing it with passion, which is kind of cool to see.
Yeah, and also everything that we're doing is going to be very similar style. This is the style. Yeah, this is the Rewind case style. You'll see this throughout all of the products.
Nothing's made overnight. Like it's all made in this. If you like our VHS cases, I truly believe you will like every case we're doing. Cassettes are going to be,
oh my god,
amazing,
so good, so good.
Cassettes are just like, oh yes.
When you hold
even if you don't even like cassettes, it's going to be like, boom.
Yeah.
And CDs are going to be dope. And vinyl, honestly, I think as long as everything goes as planned, it's going to be game changer. You know, because it's just. These are all professionally done, and you get to see how they should be done, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Is like how I feel they should be done. Of course, that's exactly what I'm thinking. If I'm
I mean you're
doing it. We're literally doing it. It's like this is how we should do it.
Yeah,
and we didn't cut any corners, so that's why this takes time. So we're really excited.
I like the comment somebody made about our holders. They are awesome.
True story.
Make the inevitable crossover discount to Rewind even sweeter. Hey, when you have all of your media in a Rewind case and it all looks beautiful.
If I see a collection with all Rewind of the four things, that person might get a.
Well, they'll have there's more than that. There's gonna by the end of it, they'll be like millions.
No, that's the fun thing. Is like there's so much on the thing, but really, the for 2023, our big thing is getting music. You know, we want to keep doing movies. There'll be 2 departments. It's going to be music and movies. And we're going to be pushing on all fronts there. And you know, we want to really get this done right because that's the thing. We don't want to become the master of none, right? Like, we're not just doing this because that medium could be good one day. There goes my phone again. Sorry, my bad. But with that being said, like we want to make sure we release a vertical. We're putting all the time and effort. Oh, you can leave it. Oh yeah. Thank you. You know, it's important to do it right and do it justice. So,
definitely.
That's why it takes a long time to do it right. And to do it right, it's not. It's also psychologically get the right people in place and the right experts and. Like we go through a vertical, it's not just we have, a few experts. We get we go and find the best people in those things to work with.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
Record's been fun that way. You know, met
yeah.
some great people. We've driven places to talk to people, talked to them about counterfeits, looked at stuff, and that's the thing that scares me the most about some other companies. Now, as I gave positivity towards AAGS, I love what they're doing. I'm scared of some of the other companies that don't seem like it's like, oh, they made a case, they'll just drop a record in.
Yeah.
Like,
And say it's done.
And the thing is, it's like, I hope they have experts. I hope they do it right. But it scares me because it's not that you have to know the expert to thing, but it scares me that they just make a case and, you know, like...
Yeah.
I don't...
Authentication is part of the service. It's not just grading and encapsulating.
Authentication's like 90...
it's 95% at least, if not higher. That is the main... For me, I think that is what people are getting their worth in.
Well,
in the case.
I mean, honestly, grade it is the hardest part, and the thing I think that me myself when I submit something, when I'm
sorry, we just had a technical difficulty.
Oh, we did?
Well, yeah, we're having some technical issues.
Getting sucked into the internet.
Okay, I think we're back.
I think when it comes to grading, it's about the authentication. It's putting a number score to it. Yeah, it's cool. But the authentication of like this is legit. This is this is of the time.
Yeah.
Because again, there is bad actors out there, and we do everything in our power to push back against that and try to make sure that that doesn't get out there.
Somebody asked a great question. Are our holders made in the U.S.?
The new ones are.
Yes.
Originally, we started where we had them start in the U.S. but get done in China. But we did move manufacturing over to the States for music. And
the plan for the future is...
The blisters have all been made in the U.S.
Yep. The designs are all done in the U.S.
All music is now being done in the U.S. The molds for VHS should be shipped over to the States, I think, by the end of the year. So we'll be fully made in the USA. Is the goal by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Because that's the hard thing is actually is getting the good manufacturers of the stuff.
Yeah.
Because I think the molds is sometimes even the companies that we hire in the U.S. make the mold out and then ship them over.
Yeah, a lot of the time they're not even making molds in-house anymore.
Yeah, they make them out of aluminum or steel, and the steel ones are mostly overseas. Over here, they do aluminum.
Yeah.
We could go longer into that,
right?
With their dish molding, but
we can talk a whole hour.
Yeah, they usually make them out of steel, then they freight them over here and Then they they make sure they perfect it. A lot of times it's hard to get good mold makers in the U.S. It seems like.
Yeah,
it's a dying field.
It's a dying art, and again, we could spend hours talking about it.
Yeah, sorry to bore you.
Yeah, you could go into all the detail when you move manufacturing overseas. You lose all the talent, and the talent is in China. It's like they're good at what they do.
Yeah, well, that's the hard thing. Also, like going through and this, like making this case, it's like every part of it. The blisters designed separately than the case, and how they fit together, and like how to make it tamper evident, and how to.
The labels as well are made by someone else.
Yes, then those are made in the U.S. Like those labels are professionally printed out of here, and we print it's the ink that's in black on a special resin we do in house.
Yeah. So
every little piece is like really thought out, and that's where like the item when you get it, it's like the tape's suspended in air and everything else. It's like you can't have extra room, and you'll notice like ours they fit perfectly in there.
Yeah.
And it just takes a lot of effort to like one of our blisters for music right now we have to send more samples to make sure that it's the perfect size.
It's like making a puzzle, but everybody doesn't have the other puzzle pieces.
Yeah.
And they all need to come together and they all need to fit.
Well, exactly. And like you're literally working on them on one puzzle piece and you get it in and you're like, well, that doesn't fit over here. And like, do we fix this piece or this piece? And, but luckily, you know what? It's been over 2 years at this point of going through this and so much learning, and you really the wealth of knowledge it's like that I could never use again is remarkable.
That only applies here.
That only applies here. But no, it's great though, because that's why when we were able to go through VHS, we already started with some of the other verticals. The amount of designs, I think I showed Callum all the professional designs that I had made and I spent a lot of money on, but like we have ready.
Oh my god.
It's remarkable. And that's why like cassettes and CDs were in the making way long ago.
Yeah.
And we had a few others that I made for other projects that we never did.
Yeah.
That'll be fun if we ever get to. Yeah, not yet.
No,
yeah.
The future,
the future is unknown.
The future is unknown.
No, but
I think that's a great place to.
Yeah, is there any last things?
No more questions.
Just make sure we're not like skipping a question.
Somebody said, "Are you expanding personnel with different verticals?"
Yes.
Everything is made to be scalable here,
yes.
Including when we require more hands, that we're able to get more hands in.
Yeah, and that's the thing also is everything's made to be scalable, which means like the machinery we buy and everything else is very much in thoughts of when we open up music, how does it affect VHS, and how do we make sure that process can handle multiple hundred more per day.
Oh yeah,
because that's the thing I've noticed with going through getting stuff graded is that backlog is a pain.
Yeah,
and our goal is to stay ahead of it, and that's why we won't open. We take our time to open up a vertical to make sure we could give it time and effort and do it right.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, and that was the last question that's there at the moment. If anybody else does have any last things,
feel free to email or call us.
Yeah, message
support at Rewind Grading.
Support at rewindgrading.com. Messages on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. What else?
Mail carrier by horseback.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Rewind Grading. Just put Rewind Grading on. I'm sure it'll get to us eventually.
We'll light the lantern outside the gate.
Yeah, I like that. Maybe Twitch at some point.
Twitch, yeah. Oh no, I get a Twitch and what is it? TikTok.
Yeah.
But
Dan shows his age when he calls Twitch TikTok and TikTok Twitch.
It's not that I haven't used TikTok. It's just.
Well, it's funny.
No, I use Twitch. Sorry.
You use yeah.
I had a friend that did had a Twitch stream I used to watch to support but I have not used TikTok.
Somebody asked what grading system will we use for vinyl?
Vinyl's gonna be actually the same as our current.
Yeah.
So I had a big debate in my head. And out loud about doing a single grade with subgrades, but we decided to keep it to a 10-point system with stars as the single grade. So really with the stars, you could think of it's 10 possible grades, 5, 4.5, 4, maybe it's 10, I don't know. But to me, it makes logical sense to keep it where it's at.
Yeah.
That way allows us to open up open grading for all these verticals.
Yeah.
And that's what we talked about, it's syncing between the different verticals. Now, I really did think could it be better regarding doing it differently, but I do think this is best for each individual vertical.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, like, how is it for CDs, for cassettes, vinyl? And we simply, I'll break it looking unified to do, but for us, I really do think it'll be best to have a seal rating and a box rating. So...
Sorry, I just read a comment. It's funny.
Is it
a Rewind Grading OnlyFans account? Not yet.
I was gonna joke. I was gonna joke when you asked about videos online. Yeah, but I was like, today I'm being good. So, So any which ways, everyone out there, be safe, be well. Any questions? Hit us up. I hope all your collecting's going amazing. You found items that make you personally happy. So thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you very much. Have a good one.
Bye.
See ya.